Seahawks
the game
versus 49ers.
Yeah.
Battle for the NFC. Battle of the year.
Number 1 seed on the line, NFC West on the line. The Niners looked really good against the Bears. That was a shootout. And then on the flip side, the Seahawks have looked really good over the last couple of weeks. Their defenses looked really good. JSN's looked really good. Their running game's starting to go. Sam Darnold makes me nervous, but he's starting to really go here. I mean, this one's wild here. To me, the vibes, maybe I'll take the vibes on this one. The vibes lean San Francisco. Okay. Over the last couple of weeks, the inevitability of this team with all the injuries happening with Brock Purdy. If it wasn't for him being injured early in the season, I think you put him in the MVP conversation.
Yep.
I think the momentum leans towards San Francisco, but Seattle over and over again, especially you talk about that Rams Seahawks game earlier in the season, that crazy Thursday Night Football game, find a way to overcome and win. So as much as I personally want the Seahawks to win, I think the Niners have a very good chance at completing the upset, if you even want to consider it an upset.
You bring up a really good point there with Purdy, because Jones played 11 games this year, 69.6% completion percentage and 2,100 yards. Brock Purdy on 8 games, 69.3% completion percentage. So they're not necessarily anything crazy, but 2,000 yards. So only about 100 yards short of what Mac Jones did in 3.
He's in the MVP games. Conversation if he plays all season.
He's got 20 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. Obviously, that ratio isn't insane, but only 8 sacks in there as well. This Brock Purdy is legit. I mean, he is transitioning Euro steps into the Dougie. I mean, that takes some legitimate skill and creativity, honestly, too. This is maybe the game of the year, and it hasn't even kicked off yet. And we have had a laundry list of games that have been unbelievable so far. You mentioned Seahawks Rams. This NFC West is just churning out barn burner after barn burner. I mean, it's been incredible. And so when you look at what this game has in store, this is one of those where if you've got 2 TVs, you put it on the big TV. If you've got 1 TV, it's going on the TV. This is a sit down, seat is sewn to the couch game. You got to lock in for what could be maybe the best game of the year. 13-3, 12-4, battle for the NFC. The analytics are leaning slightly in Seattle's favor, so they are not taking your side here. But I am also kind of in the 49ers camp. I just feel like they're getting hot at the right time. Obviously, the Seahawks have won some big games. That Rams game was huge, and then obviously they're going to take care of the Panthers. They have an opportunity to extend their win streak to what should be 7 against the 49ers here, while the 49ers are looking to actually extend their streak to 7 as well. So unless I have the same tab pulled up twice, both of these teams looking to go into the playoffs with the same win streak. Man, even outside of who's going to win this game, how are they going to do it, what's going to go down, get ready. I mean, if you don't have a popcorn machine, you still have time. Right? Run to the store and buy one because you're going to need it for this one.
I love that this is how the season begins and ends for this NFC West. It began with this game. The Niners won 17-13, but this was a game right down to the wire. Brock Purdy actually threw 2 interceptions in that game, and the Seahawks looked good for the majority of it. Sam Darnold didn't need numbers to keep himself in consideration for that one. That has kind of been the narrative for Sam Darnold this year for the Seahawks, is he hasn't always had to throw 300 yards to keep his team in the mix because the rest of his team has stepped up, whether it's Jackson Smith-Njigba doing insane things with the amount of target share he does, or the running game steps up, or the defense gets a couple interceptions and turnovers. In this game, they were a very well-rounded team. At the very end of the game, Darnold was driving. I mean, they were, I think, just outside the red zone, and a fumble occurred. And it was like a fumble where like he hit his offensive line or something. And then like the fumble, it was like one of those freak kind of things. And it's like, okay, week 1 kind of like, things. And week 1 of Sam Darnold on his brand new team. Okay, moving on. Now we have a 49ers team that has looked really good. What they just did against the Bears. And then you have the Seahawks, who are, dare I say, battle tested. I think both these teams are very battle tested. This is both of these games. This is each of these teams. No matter who wins this one, no matter who becomes the 1 seed or who becomes the 5, if you will, I think there's a potential that there could be a 6 seed in there somewhere. If the Rams come in, how they play their game, either way, whoever wins and loses this game does not change the way I think about either of these as potential Super Bowl contenders. These are both Super Bowl contending teams.
What Seattle and Sam Darnold have done this year is incredible. I saw a stat. It was like a handful of quarterbacks, maybe 4 or 5, that had won 13 games in a row in back-to-back seasons. I'm not even going to attempt to name what the other ones were, other than I remember Tom Brady was on that list, obviously. But Darnold did it on 2 different teams. I don't think any of the other quarterbacks did it on 2 different teams. And the reason I say that is it is so hard for the human brain to comprehend, to wrap itself around the concept that Seattle is 13-3 going into this game at first in the NFC West with a chance to take first in the NFC if they take down the 49ers with a first-year quarterback. Sam Darnold he's brand new. He hasn't even hit his first birthday with this team. I mean, it's incredible what they're doing out there in Seattle, and it just puts that much more on the line. I am super excited to watch this game. I am going to lean in the 49ers direction. It just feels like, as much as I just kind of gave as many kudos as I could to the first year stuff that Seattle's doing, I'm going to lean in the direction of experience, because it feels like the 49ers are always right there unless, an injury happens or some. Really, that's kind of been their downfall over the last few years. So it says here at Schefter's reporting, 49ers will be cautious of who plays in week 18. Maybe keep that in mind. But outside of that, it feels like the 49ers are on a little bit more of a hot streak. And I guess that's just because of their big game against the Bears last week. And that's what's in the back of our mind, or I guess front of mind. But regardless, like I've said probably 3 times now, I don't care who wins. This is going to be a good game. I'm going to turn this one on.
I don't disagree with anything you just said at all right here, but this is my take. Sam Darnold, as you mentioned, 13 wins 2 years in a row with different teams. They have a chance to win their 14th win. It'll be a franchise record for the Seahawks, a franchise record for a team like the Seahawks who have won Super Bowls in the past, right? Sam Darnold has a chance to do that in year 1. If you look back at what he's done over this past couple of years, over the past couple seasons, he had a chance to clinch the number 1 seed last year in the final game of the season, lost the Lions, then lost in the playoffs the week later. Everybody talked about how he left money on the table because of the way he ended his season last year. One of the biggest questions was how he's going to handle the Los Angeles Rams, right? The Rams were the biggest pain in his side all season long. He got over that hump on that Thursday night football game. He did it. Now he can get over that hump by winning in week 18, clinching number 1 seed, and giving them momentum into the playoffs. I'm taking the Seahawks to win this football game.
I don't hate that take. I do not hate that take. I will say more is on the line here for San Francisco. From my count, if Seattle wins and the Rams win, San Francisco falls to 6 per this ESPN playoff machine that you love to use. And if Seattle loses and the Rams win, they'll still be the 5. So technically speaking, there is more on the line, but 5 and 6, I mean, is there a huge difference there? It just becomes a matchup game at that point. And at some point you kind of have to, I don't think teams are playing for matchups as much as they are for the 1 seed, right? Like obviously the 1 seed is what both teams are going to care about in this one.